You're sitting at the dinner table, and your partner seems distracted. They nod while you're talking, but their attention keeps drifting somewhere else. On the surface, it's nothing, but your mind starts filling in the gaps. Maybe they're bored, or maybe something's changed. So the conversation continues, but a quiet tension starts building up inside you. Later that night, you replay the moment. Why were they so distant? Did I say something wrong? Your mind starts looking for an explanation, and the longer it searches, the more convincing the story becomes. Psychologists call this relationship rumination. It's when the mind circles the same moment again and again, trying to resolve uncertainty. And these thoughts rarely appear randomly. They usually follow 5 predictable mental loops. At first, rumination can just feel like thinking, but it isn't reflection. It's a loop your mind returns to whenever the relationship feels uncertain. And over time, those loops can reshape how you actually see the person you love. Your connection can start to feel fragile. Not because the events are significant, but because your mind keeps returning to them. In therapy settings, these thoughts tend to follow recognizable patterns and fall into 5 kinds of rumination cycles. Each one begins with uncertainty, and each one tries to restore a sense of control. The first cycle is blame. Blame loops usually focus on the past. Your mind returns to a moment where something felt unfair. Maybe your partner cancelled a plan or was dismissive during an argument. So your mind begins building a case. You replay the moment again and again, and replay sharpens the narrative. You remember the tone of their voice and exactly how you felt, so the memory starts turning into evidence. Evidence they don't care enough, they misunderstand you, or even that there's something wrong between you. The danger of the blame loop isn't the memory itself, it's the certainty that grows around it. When the mind believes it already understands the whole story, curiosity disappears. Instead of asking what actually happened, the mind starts defending its version. And over time, blame can freeze a relationship in a single painful moment. So you stop relating to who your partner is now, and you start relating to the version of them that exists inside the story. The second rumination cycle is control. And it often begins with a quiet belief you have. If things were done my way, the relationship would work better. Control loops focus on the future. The mind starts imagining the correct way the relationship should function. How often you should talk to each other, how disagreements should be resolved, or the way decisions should be made. In your mind, this feels perfectly reasonable. Because after all, every relationship needs structure. But control loops usually carry an underlying message. I know what would fix this. When the mind settles into this pattern, flexibility disappears, and differences start feeling like problems that need correcting. Instead of exploring what works for both people, the mind pushes toward one outcome. So your love slowly turns into a project that must be managed properly. But relationships rarely grow through control. They grow through curiosity. And curiosity can't survive when one person believes they already know the answer. The third rumination cycle is doubt. Doubt loops turn the questioning inward. Instead of blaming your partner, you start questioning your own judgment. Did I misread the situation? Maybe I'm imagining things. So your mind begins searching for certainty. You start examining the relationship from every possible angle. Is this the right person for me? Did I make the wrong choice? The problem with doubt loops is they never deliver the certainty they promise. Each answer simply creates another question. So even good moments begin feeling unstable. Over time, this cycle slowly erodes trust. And not just trust in your partner, but trust in your own perception. The fourth rumination cycle is worry. Worry loops focus on the future, and your mind begins imagining what could go wrong. At first, this may seem like caution, like preparing for the future can feel responsible. But worry rarely prepares us for reality, and instead it fills the present moment with imagined danger. Your mind begins looking for signs that confirm its fears. A quiet mood becomes a warning signal, and a missed call becomes evidence something's wrong. So gradually the relationship begins feeling fragile, and not because anything's actually happened, but because your mind keeps rehearsing disaster. The irony of worry is that it promises protection, yet it often removes the sense of safety the relationship actually has. The fifth rumination cycle is self-pity. This loop frames the relationship through the lens of victimhood. Why does this always happen to me? Why do I end up in relationships like this? Life begins feeling unfair or hopeless. Self-pity creates a powerful emotional narrative. If the situation is impossible, then nothing needs to change. But this mindset shifts the emotional balance of the relationship. And without realizing it, you may begin expecting your partner to rescue you. Over time, that pressure becomes difficult for anyone to carry. So your partner may start feeling responsible for your emotional stability. And when that responsibility becomes too heavy, distance begins to grow. Most people don't get caught in only one of these cycles. Often the mind blends them together. You might begin with blame and then drift into doubt. Later, the same moment becomes a source of worry. What matters isn't which cycle appears. What matters is recognizing the loop. Because rumination disguises itself as problem-solving. The thoughts feel urgent and necessary, but beneath the thinking, something else is often happening. There's a feeling the mind is trying to avoid. Sometimes it's sadness or fear, or sometimes it's longing. Imagine sending a message to someone you care about, and hours pass without a reply. Your mind starts building explanations. So you talk to a friend and focus on everything they did wrong. But underneath the story, something simpler might be at work. You miss them. You feel vulnerable. And vulnerability can be uncomfortable. The truth is, rumination can act like a shield. It keeps the mind busy so you don't have to sit with the feeling underneath. But when the mind stays busy too long, the relationship becomes harder to see clearly. The thoughts feel real, yet they're often just one possible interpretation. Learning to notice rumination doesn't mean forcing yourself to stop thinking. When the mind starts circling a moment, pause. Ask yourself what the thought actually is. Is it a fact? Or is it an interpretation? Then notice the pattern it belongs to. Simply naming the cycle can interrupt its momentum. Instead of being carried by the thought, you start observing it. And when observation appears, curiosity returns. Remember that curiosity creates space to ask a different question. What's actually happening inside me right now, and what might be sitting beneath this story? Often the answer is simpler than the mind expected. And these feelings aren't problems to eliminate. They're signals. Signals something meaningful is happening inside you. When people learn to sit with these feelings instead of escaping into rumination, something changes. The relationship becomes clearer, and conversations become more honest. Instead of reacting to imagined stories, you can begin responding to real emotions. Thinking will always exist in relationships, and the goal isn't eliminating it. The goal is noticing when thinking stops serving the connection. Because love doesn't grow through mental loops. It grows through presence and curiosity and the willingness to stay open even when uncertainty appears. If you notice yourself overthinking your relationship, try asking one quiet question. What feeling is my mind protecting me from right now? And the answer may take time to arrive, but when it does, it often reveals something far more honest than the story your mind was telling you. You've been watching The Soft Skills. Like and subscribe for more insight on love, connection, and emotional intelligence.